Hi everyone, it's Mike here from Guitar Prep School again. So nice to be back, and today I'm going to talk to you about practice routines. There's a lot of questions floating around as to sort of how long do I practice, when should I practice, how often should I practice, what should I practice. Hopefully after this video you'll have a little bit more of a clearer understanding as to what you should be doing as a practice session. Okay? Because now everybody is different. It's impossible to answer every single question that people ask about practice routines. Right? Because everybody's at a different stage of their journey. So the answers that people are asking, only you know, right? Only you know your weaknesses, all right? And once you know what your weaknesses are, then you know what you need to practice on, all right? Now, you may have a lot of weaknesses, or you might have just one or two little weaknesses, all right? As a beginner, I expect you've got a lot of weaknesses that you need to sort of overcome and get used to getting right. But your practice routines or your practice sessions should be based around three things. Right? Two of them should be two of your weakest elements, which I'll go into the different elements now in a second. Two of them should be your weakest elements, and the third one should be having fun. That's the most important thing. So long as you're having fun, that's why you want to learn to play guitar. You want to have fun. You want to learn songs that you enjoy, right? Now, knowing your weaknesses and combining having fun is the tricky bit, right? Because it's not always fun when you're trying to learn something and you just can't grasp it, right? And it's having the discipline to stick to that one little thing for 10 minutes. No more. But if you could stick at one little thing for 10 minutes, right? And then spend the next 10 minutes having fun and having a go at a song, or learning or continuing to learn a song that you're currently learning, right? Right. You mix and match the two, because I would say 20 minutes a day is a pretty acceptable time to sort of spend practicing on your guitar, right? If your practice sessions are in 20-minute slots, I mean, if you did it twice a day, great, right? Everyone's different. It depends on your schedule. It depends on, everybody's got, family issues, work issues, you're only home at so many hours, and, everyone's got other stuff going on in their lives. So if you can cram 20 minutes a day, that's great, right? As long as it's every day, then nobody can ask any more of that from you, unless you push yourself to do more, but 20 minutes a day is a pretty good standard to set yourself, and out of those 20 minutes, you spend 10 minutes on practicing two of the different elements I'll run through with you now, and 10 minutes practicing a song, or part of a song. Now, the different elements that you would probably be practicing on would be things like, you have to know your weaknesses, like I said. You have to know your own personal weaknesses, because everybody is different, right? Some people are more advanced, so their weaknesses won't be the same as a beginner, right? But say, for argument's sake, you're struggling with getting clear chords. That would be one of your weaknesses. So you just spend 10 minutes, you pick 2 chords, and you practice just getting clear sounds. Sorry, something just fell off the unit there. But you're practicing getting clear sounds on those 2 chords. Okay? You pluck each individual string, getting those clear notes, making sure your insides of your hands are not muffling the rest of the strings that you're trying to play. And you just spend 10 minutes on trying to get those chords clear. Right? And at the same time, you can kill 2 birds with 1 stone and practice changing those chords with your fingers moving at the same time. Okay? You don't have to be playing anything. You could just practice with your hand. 10 minutes. Going from one chord to the next. So that all your fingers move at the same time. You know, any 2 chords, or even 3 chords, you can just spend 10 minutes doing that, moving from one chord to the next, in an orderly, timely fashion. Right? And if you find one of your fingers is lazy, then there's a weakness there that you need to keep practicing doing that. Alright? Timing is another area where, combined with strumming, the 2 go together. So you might have an issue with strumming, you might have a little bit of a problem in getting used to a certain strumming pattern or a certain strumming technique. Right? So if you get something like a metronome, or even play a backing track of something that you think you could play along to, and practice playing along with the record, because that'll get you into the mood and the groove of the song, and it will almost force you to change those chords on time, because you have to keep in time with the music, right? And you know, just those 2 elements alone, the timing and your strumming, because you're listening, you're using your ears, you're training your ears at the same time. Alright? So, you can see how everything ties in with each other. When your chord changing gets better, your timing gets better, your strumming gets better. You know, so your first 10 minutes should be focused on your weaknesses, your weak points. And then 10 minutes playing along to a song and having fun, right? And it doesn't have to be playing the chords to that song. It could be just messing around on your guitar and trying to follow the song in any different way that you want. Finding notes, doing single notes, bending your strings, just, you know, try and do something that goes with the song, and you'll learn so much just by doing that as well, right? Using your ears, having fun on the guitar, right? And you do that regularly. I used to do it all the time as a kid. Honestly, I used to play records, and I just used to do that's how I learned. That's how I learned to play guitar. 50 years I've been playing guitar, and I've never read a piece of sheet music in my life. Right? We didn't have anything like that in those days. We didn't have the internet, no YouTube. We didn't have any apps or anything to fall back on. We didn't have anything. All we had was a picture chord book. Right? No tuition from anyone. And I've been playing for 50 years. I've done all the gigging around it, and you know, there's a lot to be said for learning stuff by ear. Right? You'll hear many people online say that some of the best musicians came out of the 50s, 60s and 70s, because they had to learn everything themselves. They didn't have no one to tell them or show them what to learn or how to practice. So anyway, my advice is 20 minutes a day, 10 minutes on practicing 2 of your weakest elements, and 10 minutes practicing and having fun with one of your favorite songs that you want to learn. Alright? I hope that helps put into some sort of perspective on what you should be practicing and how you should be practicing, because it's totally down to to you personally. You know, nobody can say to you, right, I think you should do this, I think you should do that, right? Unless it's a private teacher that you have that knows your weaknesses and can guide you in the right direction, right? But if you're just learning the free stuff online, it's only you that know your weaknesses, and you have to decide what's right for you. But the most important thing is be committed and stick to be strict to yourself and say, right, I haven't practiced my guitar yet today. I have to go and practice my guitar for 20 minutes, right? And once that becomes a habit, then you'll see some improvements start to happen. Believe me, you will, because that's what it's all about. When you hear people and myself keep saying, practice, 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 well, this is what we're talking about. This is what you have to do when you practice. Alright? Practice on your weaknesses and have fun at the same time. Alright? I hope that helped somebody out there, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, and hit that bell so you don't miss any of my notifications, and I'll see you all again next time. All the best.